Hey guys, Jason here for Chart Guys. I only have time to do one solid video today, so please excuse any errors or mispronunciations. We're going to start with 5G, the ETF. And first of all, what I see on the daily time frame is that we've got some key resistance up at 25.35 to 25.38, double top area of resistance. If the market continues to show a lot of strength, we're going to need to get over that level on this ETF. We already overextended a lot of names, and we haven't seen a ton of consolidation yet. The S&P is very, very high, being propped up by XLF. If we see the finance sector seeing some weakness, it could drag all of our names down with it, as we are very extended 25.38 key level of resistance. Should we see weakness, we have today's low of day, and most importantly, yesterday's low of day, 24.92. We need to hold that level to maintain daily higher lows. If we lose it, we're looking at some trend changes. Let's go check out AVGO, and again, all one take today. AVGO, a little bit of weakness. This is better than we saw yesterday. We needed to see some short opportunities. Yesterday, we saw some key breaks of support levels, no follow through. That's an indication that you're going to see continued upside, but we're already super extended. I would still argue we're overbought on the daily time frame, just under 70. We have 323.20 resistance, and we only have yesterday's low of day, 308.71 for support levels. We moved so quickly over the last week that we haven't really established a lot of support levels yet, and this is not even necessarily confirmed as a daily higher low. We need to see more consistent movement away from that level. 4-hour time frame. A little bit of consolidation, just getting back under 70 RSI, still trying to carve out a higher low on the 4-hour time frame as possible. We're going to do that, but I think it's more than likely we're going to see a test of that 308.71 level on the hourly time frame. Possible setup for a head and shoulders. This is pretty much picture perfect if we see some strength tomorrow and a low or high into continued weakness and getting dragged down by the overall sector, or the overall market, I should say. Perfect head and shoulders setup. Key level 308.71. Let's check out MRVL. MRVL on the daily time frame, weaker than AVGO, so we have to keep an eye on yesterday, or the high of 27.47, and today's high of day. We did open a little bit stronger, but we saw that initial weakness, so we're going to be looking for low of day support, and then ultimately yesterday's low of day is going to be a key level 26.45 on the 4-hour time frame. We are looking at a tightening range here up against double top resistance, 27.47, trying to set these higher lows in the 4-hour time frame. If we lose 26.45, that's going to be very, very key for us. And on the hourly, a continued tightening range. You can see that zone of resistance coming into play here. So if we lose today's low of day, I think that will be very indicative of a 26.45 test, and then a test of this gap that we have way down here. XLNX, how did you do today? XLNX, the bears are trying their best so far, but we do have this area, much like the other guys, double top resistance, 97.80. That's going to be key for us. Indecision candlestick today, really chopping around, not a lot of clarity or direction. Possibly we set up our 4-hour higher low, but we're going to need to break over 97.80 for me to be convinced of that as a longer term entry. There's that double top, nearing triple top, but we still have 4-hour bulls in control of the chart at this point. And possible, we're looking at a beautiful cup and handle pattern. We're going to see an execution, and I would be happy with a break of 97.37. If we lose that, 93.30, and then we're back to our 4-hour time frame for possible trend changes. INSG. That's right, yes. INSG, looks like we had some bad earnings yesterday, but we did hold 442 support. So what that means is we got to focus primarily on today's action and that 442 level. So we're going to look for support at today's low of day, and we're going to look at hourly support levels and see what more we can establish as we move forward. It's nice to see bulls buying this dip. It's certainly better than having momentum right near the low of day. So we'll have to see what tomorrow's action brings. Nice little bounces here. Looks like we've got a lot of support right at that 450 level. So that is going to be key for us. And not a lot of clarity on these patterns, but we see that we are setting lower highs on the hourly time frame. So possibly looking at a descending triangle pattern, which has a base of support and a clear line of pressure holding the price down. Usually when you get toward about 75 to 80% completion of these patterns, you see a drop in volume and you see an uptick in bull volume if you're going to break bull, and a uptick in bear volume if you're going to break bear. So keep an eye on that as we see this pattern evolve. Right now, everything looks like bears are in control. We have not set higher highs on the 15, on the hourly, or the 4-hour, and we're just holding 450 support. So bulls need to step up in a big way if they're going to save this pattern. 450, 442 support is all we have at this point. ADI on the daily time frame. ADI on the daily. big red candlestick still holding EMA 5 support on the daily. So bulls are in control until they give up these higher lows. Possibly we're going to look for a test at 110.65. And if we see bulls in control tomorrow, our resistance is 114.43. Let's see if we can clean this chart up a little bit. 4-hour time frame looks like we are getting into a little bit of a balancing act between 114.43, 110.65, and our high of our pre-market action 113.82. And then the bears are in control for the majority of today's trading action, with bulls buying a little bit of the dip right into the end of the day. But you can see how this hourly EQ is setting up. So I'd be keeping a close eye on 113.82 and 110.65 as we head into tomorrow. If we lose 110.65, possible head and shoulders. I think that beautiful head and shoulders was an AVGO that had that best play. I would be keeping an eye on this one as my play for the day. If we do see a higher low and a 15-minute trend change up here sometime tomorrow, and see the overall market, keep an eye on XLF, keep an eye on SPY. If those turn right around the same time, I would be eyeballing an entry for a short position on AVGO. Given the fact we're so hyper extended up here, we need to see some consolidation. Hourly is cooling off nicely. 4 hours still has a long way to go, and daily still has a long way to go. So be ready for those short opportunities when they arrive. And until then, good luck.